Hello, my sea blossoms. I am Kurt, the editor and general doer guy of things on Octorok, and the creator of this series, Kurt's Corner. I mean, Kurt is in the title, so yeah, that's where that comes from. I don't know where to go with this, honestly. So you're listening to this while watching what I presume, I don't know how well it's going to turn out, but it's footage of my attempt at doing the duel challenge in, what was it? Call of Juarez Gunslinger. I like the game, I like the duel challenge. I managed to get like 13 duels in before finally, failing miserably, so yeah, look forward to seeing that play out. And I figured that I'd use this as an opportunity to talk about something that's drawn my mind. Basically, this aspect of the show is going to be the very much unscripted element where, yeah, I bring up something that's on my mind. And right now, what's on my mind that has completely nothing to do with cowboys and the Old West and that sort of stuff is Superman. Specifically, I don't really know where to start with this. I guess I could start from where I was talking with a friend. Let's just start with the most cliche and basic thing. I was talking with a friend. The topic of Batman v Superman came up. Now, if you have not seen that film, God, I'm just I'm a little flustered. If you haven't seen Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, it is a 2016 superhero film produced by DC, directed by Zack Snyder of Watchmen and 300 fame, and the film has gotten a lot of negative backlash. In my opinion, it's very well deserved. The film is kind of a walking disaster, kind of miscast actors, or at least misused actors, bad script, bad visual design, just overall a dreary, unpleasant, completely wrong-headed film. But I was talking with my friend, and the topic of Henry Cavill came up. She feels that his handsomeness and his general looking like Superman is enough to justify him as being Superman. And in my mind, that started a whole internal rant of, well, no. He's a perfectly handsome actor. I'm sure he's been better in other things. He's not good in the role of Superman. He is just very, very, very poorly cast. He doesn't have the natural charm. He doesn't have the, I guess, down-to-earth energy that someone like Christopher Reeve have. And this comes to what I think is the big problem. The original 1978 Superman film, I want to say 78, beautifully encapsulated how to best do Superman. It's not a perfect film. It has flaws, but in terms of conveying Superman as being a sort of down-to-earth Kansas kid who really does genuinely care about humanity and who ultimately, at the end of the day, sides with human beings and our more emotional drives over his more cold and alien Kryptonian heritage, Superman the movie captured that in a way that I think no current Superman film, certainly not Man of Steel, and definitely not Batman v Superman, it got that more than current movie studios get now, because it had the guts to take Superman and Clark Kent at their word, to back them with ideological support, to believe in the film's very design that not only could a man fly, but could also have these sincere beliefs and this absolutely heart-on-sleeve sort of idealism. And this is where I think Man of Steel definitely fell apart for me. It's not a good film. It's nowhere near a good film. And Batman v Superman especially suffers, because I could describe Henry Cavill in both Man of Steel and Batman v Superman as kind of lifeless and cold and unfun, which shouldn't be what I'm saying about Superman. That should be what I'm saying about someone like... it would be more appropriate to say that of Batman, and even then that's kind of questionable. Or Martian Manhunter. Hell, he's also an alien, but he's also got this sort of colder exterior, I guess. And even then, I'd still say Martian Manhunter has humanity. If you saw the Justice League animated series, you'd recognize that, you know, these characters actually have hidden depths and tangible emotions that make them not only fun, but also really, really engaging on more levels than just, oh, they can punch stuff really hard. And that's it for me. Henry Cavill just doesn't have that sort of humanity to him, for lack of a better term. He just feels cold to me, and Superman should be warm and affirming, and you should be able to trust in Superman. That's kind of... The character is very much built for a idealistic world where things are kind of going wrong, but ultimately balance can be restored so that the world is good again. Not, you know, the world that Batman v Superman sets up where everything is shit, and Superman's presence just makes that worse, and, you know, he's supposed to get better and become the idealistic hero we all remember, except that doesn't work, because in that case, he basically has to take control of everything, and that's kind of what fascism is. A powerful figure taking control of things by force and forcing their will on everyone. And that's just not Superman. That's not the Superman that I love. That's not the Superman that a lot of people identify with. That's not culturally what Superman was designed to be back in the 1930s. Superman was an idealistic figure, an encapsulation of the New Deal, a sort of heroic, an ideal made life. You know, pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps and embracing the best of humanity. You know, he is that. He is that very idealistic, that very hopeful, that very forward-looking idea that human beings are better than we think we are, that we have the potential to achieve that greatness. Rather than we're shitty, but we'll eventually get to a place where we're at least decent. No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense for Superman, who is supposed to be, by his very nature, the best of us encapsulated in a heroic figure. So, for me, Man of Steel and Batman v Superman aren't just films that are wrongheadedly action-focused and visually drained of life. It's that, at their very core, they're coming at Superman and the entire idea of superheroes from the wrong angle. It's the sort of situation where I'm genuinely reminded of why Marvel is doing so much better, because even though they started out creating anti-heroes like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, even tortured by their pasts and by their own failings, Marvel Studios has managed to actually encapsulate that ideal hero thing, that classical hero mold of the best of the humanity encapsulated in mythical figures, in almost mythical characters. And yeah, it's a shame to see DC not be able to live up to that kind of standard. The thing that they made, that they helped contribute to. DC helped create what we understand about superheroes. And to see their film division just fail to grasp one of the most significant, one of the most important, one of the most inspiring superheroes. The one who's enchanted and given hope to children and adults throughout history. To see DC just drop the ball so significantly, it makes me sad.